Well, hello again. It's us. Episode 4 of the Your Pretty Friend podcast. It's me, Kevin.
Nicolette.
And we are here in La Quinta, in Nicolette's house. We've been here for a few days. We got here on Sunday. And we stopped in, where's your aunt's house?
Lake Paris.
We went to Lake Paris and had a photo shoot for the TOYPF hoodie that we took so many photos and there's one that I love.
I mean, that usually happens though.
Yeah. But I'm pretty quick though.
Yeah, we were there for maybe like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'm not long. I'm a good model.
And I just,
And make it easy.
we had some other models.
We did.
So,
you will see them in the photo.
They're very
hot and sexy and fluffy. Teddy's here too. Teddy came on the adventure. He's in his little sweater because it's a little chilly out here. But today I think we're gonna show you the house later.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you or Nicolette will give you a little house tour so you can see her lovely home. It's very relaxing. All I want to do here is unplug and sleep.
Yeah.
Nicolette can attest to that because I have a pattern of locking myself in the primary bedroom and sleeping.
Yeah, whenever I host people that here, I always give them that room because it's the most comfortable. You have your own
king bed.
It's a king bed.
It's huge.
You have your own bathroom.
Big bathroom, like big closet.
Yeah, and I want to be a hospitable host.
Yeah, but it's very relaxing. What have we done? You did some work, I did some work.
Yeah. We both were working remotely, I guess, this week.
Christmas?
It's the week before Christmas. And yeah, I think it's just, it's one of those weekends that nobody really works, but are still kind of online. So we've been able to relax and just chill out for a little bit. And like you said, my goal with this house is to make sure people are relaxing and kind of stepping away from their lives. It's only 2 hours from Long Beach and it's only 2 hours from LA.
Yeah.
So whenever I come here, I'm always coming here to work on something, but it's, stuff around the house. I'm painting or I'm, refurbishing furniture or something along those lines.
I've been part of all of these.
Yeah. So when you guys were coming, I had a lot of female figure drawings because when you draw,
changes these out. I don't know if you can see behind us, but the pictures behind us, she draws at the desk that's right that's behind us, but she draws them and she tries to switch them out for every guest. And so, it was in August.
It was in August and you guys were coming.
And the gays were coming, so she switched them out to men, obviously.
I'll show you later. But yeah, I don't have a lot of male figure studies because men don't like to model for that sort of thing, which is fine, whatever. But I tried.
She has asked. I've said no.
No, that's not. I've asked you to join me. I have not asked you to model for me.
Okay, you said okay. Oh, photography.
Photography is different. And I was never suggesting all the way.
I'm still not ready for that though. She's asked, would you be down to take some racy photos? And I said no.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm very comfortable around people. I think it's more the other person that is uncomfortable.
Yeah, me.
Which is fine. I don't want anybody to feel a certain type of way around me. But
I get
I'm
nervous.
open to it. Yeah.
I get nervous.
A lot of people get
nervous.
Don't touch my stuff.
Don't touch my stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not a huge deal for me. Whenever I do figure drawing, I equate it to the way doctors feel about bodies. Obviously,
it's every day.
It's just not a huge thing. It did help me a lot when I first started going to art school because I had social anxiety, and once you kind of get comfortable around people who are naked, the other social situations just don't seem as hard.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I picked it up again after COVID because my social anxiety was through the roof. I couldn't like be in a room
Same.
with so many people after a year of just staying home and being so like reclusive. So
I remember that.
so that was, so if that's a method for some people, that was my method. Yeah, this house has been a great project. I'm still
Labor of love.
It's a labor. I mean, it's a labor for money too, but it's definitely a labor of love. Like there are definitely other things that I could have done that would have not been as stressful or as time consuming. There's just a lot of details that go into taking on a project like this, and I never had any real experience working with Airbnbs or vacation rentals. It was just more like, that just sounds like something I can do, and I just jumped in with 2 feet in, like, I mean,
you jumped fully into it.
Yeah, jumped fully into the deep end, and it was a very, like, sink or swim type of situation, which there was a lot of sinking, but I'm at a good point right now.
I mean, we're in your house.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of people can say that. I can.
Right.
That's a huge accomplishment to be a property, like, homeowner.
I mean, I own it with my family, and I just have to, be clear about that, because I think it's just a very difficult market, and I had to, move back home, and I had to make certain sacrifices in order to be able to do something like this.
Right.
And so I'm still trying to, I have a lot of goals. I have a certain, like, idea of what I want my life to look like. So I'm still trying to grow and develop, but also to have this house be as kind of a sanctuary for people, my friends and family, essentially.
And creatives alike.
Yeah. I'd had, over the summer, I had 2 creatives. They were artisans. They rented the house, and it was the slow period, so I rented it to them for a good price, and they were working in the area. One of them was like a famous oil painter, but sometimes you don't always get along with the people that rent out your house for a long time, so I kind of clashed with him a little bit, which I thought was interesting. But his assistant was really nice, and they rented out the house and had, their group of artisans living here.
Like,
so it
that's
felt
really cool, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really cool. I wish I got along with him, because then I would be able to like showcase some of his work in the house.
Right.
But
it's okay.
it's just one of those things where some people, like the last people that I had in this house, they were renting it long term, and they rented it for like 2-3 months. Super sweet. Never had any problems with them. And it just depends. It just depends.
It's a learning process.
Yeah, it depends on who comes through, and yeah, it was unfortunate that the artist was the one that was giving me the most sass, but it is.
It sounds like any kind of artist out there. It sounds like any kind of artist out there.
It is. Yeah, it's one of That's it's been a learning experience for sure.
I love it though. I love coming here. Every time she's like, "Do you want to come?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." Yeah. Last week was my final week working in the office.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very excited to get here. So excited that on Sunday when I was packing my bags, I forgot everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the worst packing job I've ever done in my life. When I pulled up into the house, I was like, oh, I forgot this, I forgot that, I forgot this, I forgot that. And I wasn't even doing anything. I made myself breakfast. I took Teddy out for a walk. I was doing nothing and throwing things in a suitcase and in bags, and then forgot everything I needed. Amazing. I remember the cameras though.
I do that all the time.
I'm normally so good about it. This time, nope.
I
really impressed myself with how much I forgot.
For me, I always forget things coming here that I probably wouldn't have forgotten at other places. And I think it's just because I know I'm gonna come back. So there's like a sense of I've been there, they probably has the stuff that I need.
Right.
But half the time I'm like doing the same thing. I was just like, I can't tell you how many times I bought like something that pretty much every time I buy toiletries is when I'm here, and then I bring them back with me and use them.
Right. So yeah, I restocked on a few things this morning, yesterday.
See, and now you don't have to worry
now
about
I'm
it
like, I
for a
have
while.
them. It's fine.
Until the next time you come out here and you forget all of those things.
Yeah, CVS has a lot of my money this weekend in La Quinta, that's for sure. So Nicolette wants you want to talk about dating?
I mean, we can talk about a few different
I'm an
things.
expert at this topic, okay? Yeah, fucking right. I have no clue what I'm doing.
I mean, okay, so there's a TikTok trend, and it's basically you text your friend, "Why am I single?" and they have to
No.
be brutally.
No.
Okay, we can skip that.
No, I mean, we can just ask each other now.
Okay.
Okay. Ew, you go first.
Why am I single?
I think you're single. I think we share a lot of similarities actually when it comes to this. Secretly scared of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're scared.
Yeah.
We're scared of being hurt, but that's everybody. That's not specific to just the two of us.
Right.
Trust is really hard to build with people that you don't know, but that's the whole point of dating. But for some reason, that's like a mental block for me. I think you will meet somebody before I do. Because you put yourself out there in more social situations than I do. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But it's hard to meet people if it's not online, and then I don't really like online dating.
Yeah,
I'm not good, and I'm not good. This is turning into me. Sorry.
That's okay.
I think you're better at the online dating, the messaging. I'm not. I'm better on the phone. I'm better in person. But when it comes to texting, I get tired of being on my phone, and I get tired of texting a message, and I'm like, can we just talk about this on the phone? But people don't like to call anymore. So.
I mean, I call you.
I call you, we call each other. I mean, the people that I speak to the most are callers, and that's probably why we're close friends. And my family, right? We're all callers in my family. I just can't text. I get tired. I bow out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have, like, if you text me, how are you? Like, I can't do a whole conversation of, like, everything going on in my life in a text. I can't. I give up. Like, just call. We can knock this out in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Okay, anyways, that's neither here nor there. You're in a new pocket though.
I am.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Sure. I mean, I think I've always had a hard time dating, and I think a lot of it is just because I was only dating men up until very recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I wouldn't date women before, it's just that I was still in the closet and trying to figure out how much I actually liked women, because
Right.
I still like men. And I think this year has been different because I put much more of an emphasis on dating women, and it's not that I can't see myself dating a man, it's just that I'm realizing that I have to go through all of this in order to really figure out what I want.
Fair.
So it's been interesting. I think, kind of jumping into like the lesbian community older in my 30s after a pandemic is not like ideal. Everybody is still extremely traumatized by all of that, whether they want to admit it or not. And it's very interesting to do, and there's, lesbians move very fast, and I'm still not like
moving that fast.
I don't move that fast, right. And it still takes me a long time to get comfortable with people. I do realize that there's like the cheat code with me is if I'm introduced to someone, like a mutual friend, it's like if I'm close to that friend, I will open up to that person a lot faster. So that's like a cheat code for me, but it also, that kind of messes me up too. It definitely messed me up this year. And I just, yeah. But it is what it is.
Lesbians are very interesting.
They're very interesting. And and I feel really bad about this. And I was talking to my friends that they're a couple, and I am really close to one of them, and then her fiance, I was getting to know her, and I told her this part where I was I'm dating women, but I'm still kind of feel like I'm looking at it from like a anthropological spectrum. Like I'm still learning, and I feel like I'm still
You're researching?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And I think part of it too is just like like my work is like so much trial and error, and that's just what I feel like I'm doing with like the lesbian community is just like trial and error. Like, and I'm trying to be, there's a couple reasons for that. I'm very guarded, and I don't necessarily want to open up with anybody super quick right off the bat.
Yeah.
But then you meet people that they want you to do all of that. They want you to open up, and they want to move a lot faster than me.
No.
So it's been interesting, and at the same time, I'm still like entertaining men to some degree, but it's very different. Like it's not like it's like the men I date have to like come to grips with the fact that I'm openly dating other women, and it's not like a phase type of thing. It's like
that's who you are type of thing.
Yeah, it's a who I am type of thing, and it doesn't mean that I'm into like, threesomes or whatever.
Right.
And it's just it's interesting to talk to them about, but I don't know, it's
complicated.
It's complicated.
That sounds heavily complicated. All right, so I guess
that's where I'm going. That's where I am at
Okay, so she's killing it, is from what it sounds like. So, I will ask you.
Okay.
Why am I single?
I think you are someone that it is hard to gain your trust after a while. It is, I wouldn't say I got your trust until after we stopped working together, and then we kind of figured out it's like, oh, this is more than just like a work friendship. This is like a real friendship where we really, really care about each other.
Yeah.
So I think with you, it's each person brings out a different sense of trust, but I think once they break that trust, it's really hard to get it back. And it's not that you're not forgiving, it's just more like that's how you protect yourself from being hurt again. And if someone is capable of hurting you once, I think they're capable of hurting you again.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily say that that's a bad thing. But I do feel like for like the long-term relationship type of thing, to be able to trust someone after something's gone wrong, I think that's really hard.
It is hard. I forgive, but I don't forget.
Yeah.
And then I kind of think of it as like a court case. Like, I'll dismiss the first offense. Second offense, I bring the first offense into the second offense. I'm like, oh no, remember this, and this. This is why I'm mad. People don't like that.
Yeah.
But, I come with evidence.
Yeah.
But I hear you on that. I absolutely hear you on that. I'm very guarded. I'm trying to soften up a little bit. I'm heading in the right direction recently.
I think so. And I think, you've been single for a while now. This is the longest period that you've been single while we've been friends. And so you had a boyfriend when we first met. You weren't single for that long between him and the other boyfriend, and same. So I just felt
and
like...
And then same with the one after that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so... what's funny is I called Jake. Let's just put that out there. I called Jake. He's gonna watch this anyway. He knows that I called him. And he was like, "Are you a serial monogamist?" And I'm like, "I was.
Yeah.
Now I'm not."
Yeah, and I think it's a huge difference between
that
you,
Kevin and this Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can't have fun forever.
I
am trying to look. I would like something more serious with one person. I feel that's more natural for me. That's more my stride, more my speed, for sure.
Yeah.
Than being a hood rat. Like I have been.
I don't, selfishly, I like that you're single because I do feel that I'm getting to know you separate
out of a
relationship. And I haven't had any issues with any of your boyfriends, and I also don't get involved in
No.
life like that.
No.
Like I'm not one of those friends that has a huge opinion about who you date or whatever. But I do feel like it's been nice to just get to know you. The
Crazy
single version
Kevin.
of you, yeah.
Crazy
I'm
Kevin.
like, I find it really fun. But yeah, I can also, I find it surprising that you think I'll find someone before you, just
I do.
because.
I definitely do. You're just you're much more social than I am. And I'm like, for me, I'm working on it, I'm trying, but you actually make it happen. So your chances are higher, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I do want to meet my next boyfriend in real life, somehow, some way.
I'm really bad about the apps though.
I'm like, the apps I use are not for dating. Let's just put it that way. Okay?
Yeah.
And so that's not leaning in my favor for finding a real relationship. But it's gonna happen. I'm gonna find him in real life. I just know it.
I feel the same way. I think I've tried the apps, and it feels like LinkedIn for dating, and I don't like it. I don't necessarily.
I hate that.
I mean, I will. What I end up doing is like meeting someone on an app and then getting their Instagram, and then it just fizzles and never ends up meeting.
They just ghost each other,
Yeah.
and then you're right back to where you started.
Yeah, but you have like an extra Instagram follower. I was like, okay.
I have noticed that, by the way, especially on one dating app, not even one dating app, on one gay app where you can link your Instagram, is certain people follow every other guy on there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a PR machine
Yeah.
to get your follower count up. And I'm like, oh, that's wild.
And at first I was kind of like, I guess this is good for networking, but again, it doesn't feel real. It feels very forced.
It feels like it's Instagram.
Yeah.
Nothing's real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so unless I meet someone in real life, I just don't. And then sometimes you end up liking the Instagram version of them way better than the real version of them too, which sucks too. So
it's wild the world we live in these days.
Yeah, I have a really hard time with the apps for that reason, because it just feels so
fake.
Yeah. And at least when I meet someone in real life, it's like you understand like the physical attraction a lot sooner, and not so much the digital version.
Okay, I was watching this Instagram reel of I don't know if he's like a relationship expert or just someone talking about his own experience in relationships, but he said when you have a spark with somebody, like when you feel a spark with somebody, that's actually a red flag.
Yeah, I heard.
Is that true?
Too.
I don't think that's true.
I mean, I can understand.
Because I love a spark.
I love a spark too.
You know what I mean?
For me though, it's my sparks are more like, again, like I've learned a lot on TikTok about my own like ADHD.
Okay.
And the way I basically understand it now, it's like for me the spark means I'm hyperfixating on someone. It's not necessarily that I like them or that they're a good fit for me.
It's like an obsession.
No, I wouldn't call it that. It's just like I'm just become very interested in them, and okay. I want to learn everything about them. I want to if they can teach me something, then I just want to like pick their brain constantly. Okay. And I know that that's not like
that's not dating though.
That's not dating, but and I can do that. It doesn't have to be like a romantic interest. It could just be like a boss or just someone that I can learn something from is usually where that happens. If they're more of an expert in something that I'm interested in, then I will like talk to them constantly. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's like romantic. It can become romantic.
Yeah.
But I do feel that for me, the spark kind of starts there. It's like if you can.
I love a spark though.
I know.
And I don't want somebody to tell me that I shouldn't be having a spark.
But I do feel that.
I want a spark. I want a fireworks show in my heart.
Yeah.
And that's how I know this is the one.
Yeah, but I think that can kind of come later. I think that that's the point, is that
No,
sometimes for the ones that last, and everybody says this, it's like it's a
slow
slow burn.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
And
I will never. Can I just quickly? My first. No, I think it was my second breakup. And my middle sister Gianna's very, very, very pragmatic. She's like a very black or white, yes or no. She's also a doctor, so everything is rooted in facts.
Right.
And it was my second breakup. Or it was my, maybe my more recent one. And that one was really hard for me, which was a few years ago. And I remember telling Deanna, like, I just thought that he was the one. And she was like, the one? What the fuck are you talking about? She's like, there is no one, Kevin. She's like, remember your first boyfriend? Yeah. Was he the one? No. And I was like, I guess you're right. But no. It's a true love story. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But they're not that way at all. Isn't that so sad?
The true love story is a product of like Disney and advertising and rom-coms and just it's a great idea. It's a great story.
No, I know. And deep down inside, I'm a hopeless romantic. I always fight for love. But fuck, man, sometimes it is not the fight worth fighting for, and you gotta say goodbye.
And that's where I have a hard time. It's when it does get hard and when it does become more of a fight, I tend to like
run away,
back out. Yeah.
So I've never dated someone to fight through things with, if that clicks at all. Where things get tough and you fight, but you ultimately know that both of you are on the same side of it, and you're fighting to get to a resolution. So I've never matched or seriously dated someone like that, because then you argue and you fight, and then both of you think that's the end of it completely, and it's hard to come back from that when the first thing you do is it's over.
Yeah.
Right? Like the first thought in your head after a very serious argument about something serious, or sometimes most of the time it's about something dumb, to come back and be like, all right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
And that's a really important thing to learn. I think, I've definitely been attracted to people that I fight with a lot, but it just feels so toxic. And so I haven't
but they're so fun.
I know. But it's
I
when
don't like
you're
fighting anymore.
Yeah.
I did that. I mean, my first relationship was not a good one.
That was the one when you
broke my hand.
Oh, right.
That one.
Okay.
So I don't like to fight. Like, I like to fight about very important things, and really like dumb shit I can look past now for sure.
I think where I have a hard time is when like people are raising their voices and nobody's listening to the other person. When it gets to that point, I bow out. Yeah. Because it's like there's no point. You're just being.
You're not getting anywhere. That's the part I fucking hate is talking like yelling in circles, or even when people talk in circles. I'm like, I'm becoming like brain dead in front of you because this is not going anywhere. And
I've been in situations where I've tried to come back after that, and it just feels like a waste of time.
Icky. Yeah.
It's like something's broken and you can't put it back together.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. And you try. But again, I haven't dated somebody that I can fight through things with. And that's a really big factor in a happy, healthy, successful, long-term relationship.
The learning how to fight, but not in
an ugly way. Yeah. You know?
Just in a way that's like you have to have a conversation and get through it and
but together. But like on the same team.
Exactly.
That's once you start dividing into you versus them, that's a downward spiral. Yeah. I'm working on that too, put that on the list.
Put it safe.
Yeah. put it on the list. I'm
on
trying
the
to.
many things that we're both trying to work on.
Yeah, but next year is. I am not putting that pressure on myself for next year. And I don't, to be completely honest, I don't know how women do it. Of the constant questioning of like, when are you gonna have a boyfriend? When are you having kids? And all that. Somebody asked me the other day when I'm having kids, I'm like, I need a man first. Are you out of your mind? Like, I have the door. Yeah. I have the door frame. I need a door to go through. To get to the other side of that. To then walk up to the next door. Together. And open that door and be like, ta-da, there's a kid on the other side of this door. No, I'm not doing that. I'm
open to a kid if the other person really wants a kid. I don't necessarily feel, so I mean, we spent all day yesterday just kind of relaxing, but the day before, I was with all my family, and I get asked this.
Latin family, you know how they are.
Yeah, I mean, one of my cousins just had a beautiful baby girl, and I was holding her, and as soon as I was holding her, it's like, okay, when is your child? And I'm barely like holding, every time I hold a newborn, I get so uncomfortable. They're just too delicate. They're so delicate.
They're malleable.
I like them when they're like 2 and I can kind of throw them around. Or
whatever. You throw them in the air and catch them.
Yeah, when they're brand new, it's so delicate.
They have the cone heads.
Yeah. Really so I was extremely uncomfortable, and then on top of that, I'm getting questions. It's like, okay, when's it your turn? I'm like, I can barely hold this child, and you want me to be a mother? Like,
leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. I will have kids, and I want to have kids, and if that's never, that's never.
If it happens for me, great. If it doesn't, I'm
also
okay
great.
With that too.
Yeah.
I just, I have an aunt who doesn't have any children. She seems to be doing just fine.
Okay. We were at her house in Lake Paris. It's fucking huge. Yeah. She has a ginormous property.
She has a nice car.
It's 1 acre. She has a beautiful car.
I wouldn't mind that life. And I don't know how her life would have been different if she had children, for sure.
I mean, everyone's life is different when having kids.
Yeah. So I also just, my extended family is so big. It's like there was 2 babies born last year, 1 this year, and there's another one on the way.
No.
So it's just, I have a lot of children in my life already.
Yeah.
And
you're like, you're
at capacity.
Right.
Yeah. Our legacy will live on. Maybe not directly through me, but
right.
It will
Everyone's
live
fine.
On. Like,
it's fine. Let's say I'm the only boy in my family. So it's very important that I have a kid so that we can carry on my last name. And I'm like, I have to have a boy. So that boy, so we can continue. And I'm like, this is not ancient China, okay? Like, this isn't the Leon dynasty over here. Like, I'm not dealing with that.
I don't know. There's a lot of people in this world already, so there's that part too.
There's enough Latin people, that's for fucking sure. We would both know.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get canceled by your own community. It's
That's fine. Gay Latin living in LA. I mean, come on.
I know.
Well, Latin and Chinese. That's why I can say what I say.
Yeah, and then I have to be more careful because I grew up too Orange County to get away with some of the stuff that I try to say.
Oh, I did it.
So, I don't know.
It's interesting. Dating in LA is tough.
Yeah,
I will say that.
We can talk about that specifically.
Yeah, dating in LA is tough. I think it gets tougher as the years go on. It used to be much easier, I would say, 4 or 5 years ago. And the pandemic really blew it to shit.
Yeah.
Especially for our age pocket, I would say.
Well, I mean, it was hard before, but at least I had my friends. A lot of them, yes, there was a lot of transplants, but once the pandemic came around, everybody just left. So it's like a lot of the people that I knew in LA,
gone.
They're gone, yeah. I mean, with the exception of you, but I would say like 75% of the people that I used to hang out with regularly before, they left. And it's been really hard in the sense, from like a career standpoint too, because those are the people that know.
Connected people.
Yeah, those are the people that like know you, how you work,
what you're capable of, what you can produce,
what,
all of that.
like the hard situations you've been in together. Right. It's like all of this like shared history that I was banking on basically for my career, for a lot of my, the reason I was able to jump from one spot to another was pretty much because I kept in contact with people that were working in LA. And it's different now, like some of them are in Chicago, in New York. Right. I have a friend that moved to Florida and is in San Diego now, but still, San Diego's still far. Like, I don't know.
San Diego's far as hell, what do you mean?
Yeah, and one of my best friends is in Texas. It's like, it's just, there's just, yeah, it's just the people that I were really close to and, just on a friendship level, but also on like a professional level are just not in LA. So trying to like make new connections in LA is really, really important from like a career standpoint. But add on top of that, trying to date with a lot of people who come from somewhere else and will probably leave at some point. Transplants, yeah. It's just the transplant thing is hard because it's you have like this great friendship, relationship, whatever, but then they end up leaving and they have to go back to where they came from, or somewhere else, or somewhere else, or something like that. So I've thought about, and then I look at Orange County. Like, there's still some people that I went to high school with that never left Orange County, and Orange County is a less. If I were to be more strategic, if I really wanted to meet someone, I wouldn't try to meet them in LA. I would try to meet them in Orange County.
I think it's a better...
Because they're more likely to stick around and want to stay.
I see. But that means you would have to live in Orange County then.
I know. And I'm not against that. I'm not...
I think you are.
I don't really want to.
I think you fight it as hard as you can.
Yeah, I do. There's a lot of reasons for me to live in Orange County. I'm just not
into it right now.
Yeah. I never really have been, but it's a great place to live. I feel like an asshole for complaining about it, but it just didn't really sit right with me. I just feel a lot more comfortable in LA. There's more like, there's
more things for you
more things for me to do, more things as an artist, more things as a queer person.
Yeah.
It's just like I did go on a date with a girl in Orange County and it was terrible. It was like, it's just very weird, and you don't necessarily we were getting kind of harassed by our waitress. It's like, you should be nice to us because
that's really ugly.
Yeah. And then it was just she made a comment about like, oh, this is a family restaurant, and we weren't even doing anything. We were just kind of like holding hands and just being like cute or whatever. But just the fact that like
that still happens.
It still happens, and this was like,
I would not want to live there.
2021. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. I have a hard time with it. It's like, I'll put up with it, but if I can meet and find someone that wants to live in LA, then I would prefer that. Yeah.
Fair. I was dating somebody. I was trying to date somebody. That did not go well. I really liked him. I think he liked me, but he had real problem responding to my calls and text messages in a somewhat timely manner. AKA, it would take him 4 hours to respond to one text message of, how are you? And then 4 hours later, I would get a message back. I was like, this is not gonna work at all. No, I was trying to date somebody, and like we were hooking up for a while, for several months, and then it was, oh, I think there could be something more here. And then that fizzled out. Yeah. I couldn't do it.
That's one thing about our friendship, is that we'll like see people, we won't necessarily tell the other one about it until it's like significant.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't tell you about it.
Am I going to waste time on someone that's not going to stick around?
Right.
Yeah. No.
You don't have to introduce
every booty call to you.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, this camera's dying.
Let's wrap it up, I guess.
Okay, what are we gonna wrap it up with? Okay, we're on TikTok now.
We are.
Nicolette put us on TikTok. You can give all the credit to her for that.
I know, I'm playing around with it. You'll probably start posting on the Instagram at some point when you feel like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're slowly building it.
Slowly but surely. We'll film
figuring
another
out
episode after this, and then Nicolette will give you a house tour.
Yeah.
You can see it for yourself.
So.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.